Well, from one of our pretty much worst performances of the season to one of the best in recent memory, I thought. It's a shame that we had to concede the goal from a sloppy set piece, which we've not reacted to, but I thought, minus that, we were pretty much excellent throughout, I thought. Maybe Luton controlled the first few minutes, when we looked to settle, but after we settled, I really thought they didn't really put us under much danger. There was a period in the middle of the game, shortly after we went 2-0 up, where we looked like the team from 6 months ago, not 6 months ago, 3-4 months ago, where we were really causing everyone trouble. Even without Neto, I thought Hwang really ran those channels quite well. The ball didn't quite stick for him all the time, but I thought he took his goal very, very well. And we really did miss someone with pace in behind who's just consistently running those channels over and over and over again. And you see how much of a difference it makes to have Hwang and Cunha back on the pitch together. It's just so much different from having Sarabia and a youngster up front, where we actually look like we're creating chances. We could score quite a few goals. So that being said, the front three I thought are very, very good today. But a special mention for me to Boubacar Traoré, who was everywhere today. I thought he was excellent against Arsenal, was it? It might have been Arsenal a week ago. Maybe it was Bournemouth, I don't know, they all blended into one, where he was just everywhere. And he was everywhere again tonight, just covering every single inch of the grass. I thought putting tackles in everywhere, chasing back, getting forward, creating chances for himself. And the most surprising thing for me about Boubacar Traoré is, although, yes, he has moments where he doesn't look like he can control the ball, he's very strong. He seems to take the harder chances to trap the ball and hold off defenders rather than the easy ones where he could make a pass or something of that sort. But he's also got a hell of a power shot on him. Every time the ball falls to him on the edge of the box, you just think he's going to lash this one in. And he did almost on a couple of occasions today where I thought he was unlucky not to score, really. In general, really, really happy with the performance. And I thought we really could have quite easily crumbled 80 minutes in when they scored their goal, but we actually took control of that game and didn't really give them another hint of a chance. So I'm really, really happy today, to be honest. To cut out what is essentially a 6-7 game non-winning streak with a performance like that, it's just fantastic. And it really goes to show you, where could we have been without the VAR fuck-ups, without the injuries that we've sustained throughout the season to the forward line? There's a possibility that this team and this squad, if we add to it over the summer and Fosun back Gary O'Neill, we could be talking about a team that could quite easily be back in Europe again, but come the end of next season, if everything goes to plan. So trust in Matt Hobbs. I'm giving Fosun one more chance. And hopefully, come the start of next season, we'll be really optimistic about a place where we could be challenging to get back onto a European tour again. It's exciting times, but we need to really capitalise on the amazing coach that we have, the bond that the players have with him and the fans. And it's all on Fosun now to deliver. But it's nice to not end the season in a Bruno Lage type way.
So it's finished. Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Luton 1. There's a few key changes today, ticking the back line. Obviously saw Semedo coming to the right of the back three and Doherty at right back. I thought it was quite interesting that. For me, it did actually work. It was interesting to see the opportunity where if the ball was on for Semedo to keep overlapping on the inside and the ball was knocking behind for Doherty to play the ball in behind, Semedo could actually do that, make that run. He got a good chance in the second half by chopping it back into and getting his shot away, which he obviously should have scored. But that was something we don't normally do, so that was an interesting change. I wouldn't want to see that potentially against one of the bigger teams. I think we got away with it today because obviously Luton didn't offer that much going forward, really. Boubacar Traoré, I said on here on Wednesday, that Boubacar Traoré should have been starting this game. He was class. There was every single ball he was winning. He gives so much ability in midfield. We didn't miss Tommy Doyle today at all, really. And obviously against City next week, Tommy Doyle can't play. So the midfield three will probably be the same. And we didn't really miss him. He was good. He was combative. He covered the ground so much. It helped spark the players off. It means Gomez and Lamina don't have to do as much defensive work if Traoré is in there as well. So that really helps those players, even though Lemina was a little bit deep today again. Saying that though, Joe Gomez was class again. It's one of his best games in a Wolves shirt. I think he was absolutely everywhere. He won the ball so many times. He was given some terrible balls in some awkward positions, but again, looked after the ball really well. There was one where he won the ball. The ball was high up in the air on the halfway line, brought it down his chest, held off a couple of Luton players and knocked it inside to Aït-Nouri, and Aït-Nouri went and created a chance from it, or attack from it. He's so good, Joe Gomez. My worry is that he's the one we're going to lose in the summer. Some big teams looking at him. I think midfielders in the Premier League, he's something different to what a lot of the Premier League have got. Hwang's movement, I know I saw things on social media and some of the people on the channel as well criticising Hwang. Hwang today, again, the movement is so good. The back three, particularly number 15 for Luton, could not deal with Hwang's running in behind. There was a lot of battles, a lot of chances. I think his job was today was to make the runs behind, give Kuna more space, a little bit deeper, but I'll get on that in a minute. But Hwang was so good at that. He took his goal really well as well, which he should have had a goal on Wednesday as well. But he's really in good form at the moment. He's come back from his fit. He's played a lot of football. He played 50-odd minutes on last Saturday. He played 100 minutes on Wednesday with a 10-minute extra time. He's played the full game today, so he's come back like a steam train. So hopefully he can keep his fitness and keep going for Man City next week. Kuna today was good again. He played 75 minutes, got a good run in the tank. He was deeper today, which I think was frustrating some fans, but I think that was the game plan. The game plan was for Kuna to get on the ball deeper and try and make things happen for Hwang, who was going to run in behind. The reason why I think that was the plan was because obviously the midfield was Kuna, so the midfield was Traore, Lemina and Gomez. You were looking for someone like Kuna to create something. They weren't going to really create that much, so I think that's why Kuna was trying to get on the ball in deeper areas. We know he's a more effective further up the pitch, but I think that was the game plan from Gary Neville, and that was effective. It really worked. The one down, I think Aït-Nouri was quite quiet today. That was one of his quieter games. He was almost nullified left back. I don't know whether he's carrying a knock or anything, or he was just coasting, because sometimes he does that. He just coasts through games where he hasn't really got to get out of second gear for him. I think that might have been that of a case of that. And then I think the scoreline 2-1 flattered them, final point. Scoreline flattered them. For about 60 minutes to about 80 minutes, we completely controlled that game. They couldn't get the ball off at times, Luton. We had lots of chances. Boubacar Traoré had a couple of chances to the box. There was another couple of chances that Hwang and Kuna could have had as well. And obviously the tomato one. We absolutely dominated them for that 20 minutes. It's frustrating that we made a bit hair and scare. But it's always the way of Wolves. You knew lots of fans in the ground would have been saying the same thing. The longer it went on without scoring that third goal, I always thought Luton were going to get back in this game, they're going to score, which was obviously they did. But again, I thought we dealt with that quite well. There was a chance right at the end for them to maybe equalise, but we dealt with a lot of that pressure fairly well. Obviously, Man City away next week. I am going to that. I'm a bit more positive than I was on Wednesday. But I think it'd be. We'll see what happens now. Another week to get fit. There was rumours that Neto could be back for the next 3 games of the season, which is obviously the Man City game. Whether he's or not, we don't know. But we'll have a good go at Man City next week, see what happens. Hopefully Hwang can run in behind, or Neto can do Kuna can do something amazing. But hopefully I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.
Wolves 2, Luton 1. Played some really nice football at times today, actually, and I do think having Hwang up front makes a big difference. He rang their centre half ragged today. Lots of good runs in behind, and we actually played him a few times as well. And we really should have been 4 or 5-0 up by the time they pulled one back to make it 2-1. And on another day, I think we probably would have been a bit more clinical and could have had a few more goals. But as I say, played much better today, especially following Bournemouth on Wednesday. Much better performance, just all round really. And they looked like they wanted it a bit more today, which wasn't the case on Wednesday night. So yeah, much better performance. I think having Kuna and Hwang both up front does make a real big difference. Some nice touches from Kuna. You could tell he was coming back from injury, wasn't quite at his best, but still had some nice touches. And as I say, we played some nice football. And Semedo played a bit of a hybrid role really. At times he was at centre back, other times right back, other times sort of a bit higher up through the middle, and he really should have had a goal himself as well. It was a brilliant run, and he'd done everything right. He'd committed the defender, committed the goalkeeper, and just didn't get his shot away quick enough before the opposition came. Another defender came from behind and closed him down. But yeah, so another day we easily could have had 4 or 5 goals, played some good football. Not really too much else to say really. You could tell why Luton are down the bottom. Poor team really, didn't really create anything, and you know what it's like, we've been down there before, and you know it's tough. But yeah, they didn't really create too much going forward, and even after we conceded, you feared the worst. You've seen it too many times with Wolves. You're thinking, here we go again, we're going to throw this away. But I think Sarr had one chance, one save to make that was sort of straight down him, and another one come off the Luton player's foot and could have gone in but didn't, went miles wide. And even their goal, really, it's just a bit unfortunate. The ball's come in from a corner, it's dropped to the Luton player who's had a shot, and just our luck this season, he's had a shot and it's that bad, it's landed back at the foot of the player who took the corner, and it could have gone anywhere in between the goal and the corner flag, but it hasn't. It's landed straight back at his foot, he's crossed it, and they've scored. So yeah, frustrating that the goal went in, but ultimately, you know, we've won the game, and that's all that matters.
Wolves 2, Luton 1. What a performance. We needed that big time. It was brilliant to see the boys come out and perform. I think second half, up until the goal, we were dominant, which is fantastic to see. Gary O'Neill got spot on with the lineup and the tactics. I think giving Semedo that freedom was brilliant. He was bombing up, as was Doc, and Lamina was just filling in and really running that game, similar to how Neves used to do. It worked an absolute treat. We were really working some nice little triangles on the right-hand side of the pitch, running off the ball. Doc and Semedo, I thought, were excellent. I think Ainuri was slightly quiet today, but I think for good reason. I think he needed a rest in terms of his attacking output, which was nice having Cunha, Hwang back, and Boubacar and Gomez actually pushing forward, as Lamina did at times. But yeah, the interplay between Doc, Semedo and Gomez on their right-hand side, and just passing back into Doc on the inside and bombing forward was fantastic. Hwang's runs were incredible all game. Mengi did really well to deal with Hwang, I thought. I think if a defender, probably 90% defenders would have really struggled. I think Mengi had an excellent game and kept Hwang really quiet and managed him really well. But again, Hwang had a couple of chances, probably could have done better on one of them. But again, yeah, great. A great build up to the goal. Came off a deflection, went in the corner, which was brilliant. And then, yeah, we got our second, which was a fantastic goal. Really, really, really well worked from the corner out to Lamina, put a lovely ball in. And Totti, who completely deserved that goal, having just before bombed it all the way up the pitch to try and get onto the end of the ball that was put across goal. And yeah, fantastic header into the bottom corner. Couldn't be happier. I think we showed real grit. We showed fight. I think the lineup was spot on. I think Sarabi needed a rest. I think he hasn't been offering enough recently, and his attitude has been poor, I think, recently. So that was great to see. And when he did come on, he really showed that he wanted his place back in that starting 11. He had more aggression, more strength. He was fighting against the defenders when trying to win that ball back. So it was nice to see from Sarabi. I think Cunha looked sharp, a lot better than last game. I think he wasn't quite match fit, and Gary kind of shoehorned him in, should we say. Hwangi looked immense, really strong up top, really lovely runs. Yeah, looks a real top player this season. And I think clubs might be coming for him in the summer. Aït-Nouri again was quiet. I thought Boubacar was excellent. He deserved that starting 11 position today. He was fantastic. I thought he disrupted play really well, as did Gomez. I think he had that real desire to get forward. Again, Gary clearly gave him the freedom to shoot from long range, as Totti did as well at times, but it was really clear that we're trying to focus on Boubacar outside the box and laying it off to him and releasing that shot, which I think will come in time. The more he starts, the more I think that will happen. I think when the likes of João Gomez moves on potentially in this summer or next summer, I think there's certainly a spot available for Boubacar Traore if he keeps performing as he is. So yeah, very happy. We were dominant second half up until that goal, which I think we switched off. I think Max Kilman needed to be a lot tighter. I think one-on-one in the box, in the 6-yard box particularly this season, I think Max Kilman struggled. I think he switched off a few times this season, but you know, we recovered, and I think seeing the game out, we were excellent at ever since Coventry. We haven't had a game where we needed to see out the game, and we were excellent today. Really well managed. Gary O'Neill got the tactics spot on. Players gave their all, and it's just the performance we needed. Up the Wolves, and hopefully a win next week against City. We shall see.
Finished Wolves 2, Luton 1. Good win, good performance. All round, happy with that today. Thought the lads battled really well and nullified them as much as we could. They get one scrappy goal, but our goals were good and well deserved. Some really standout performances in Boubacar, Lamina, João Gomez, Cunha especially, and Totti I thought did really well. So yeah, happy. Obviously, we're at that point in the season now where it's tough to get up for games and get the lads up and get excited, but we're still fighting. That's good, and that's good that the lads are still showing that bit of fight for us as well. And who knows? I think top 10 finish for the season would be very good after an already very, very good season. So yeah, on to Man City next week. It's probably a write-off because they're obviously fighting for the league. It's going to be tough. We're not anything now, so that'll be a tough game for us. But who knows? Weirder things have happened in football. So yeah, let's finish the season well, and hopefully we can then rebuild, get some players in the summer and keep some, and also retain the manager. That one being a big one for me personally. So yeah, but good performance today, good win. We move on to Man City next week. All the best, lads.